Break the board sports. It's your boy RJ Cash. Cole, click that like, hit subscribe. NBA, we split up into two shows today here for you with the bigger slate. Now, we won't touch on the Nets Thunder game in either one of those, but I do love a money line parlay. Go to breaktheboardsports.com, has the Thunder in it. That play is free right when you go into the site there. Click on that, check on it. Here we go. Let's hop into the first game of the NBA slate. For this game, click that like, hit subscribe. Heat at the Hawks is going to be the game here today. Now, right now, the betting line for this thing, you got the Miami Heat laying 3.5 on the road. 244.5 is our total. 73% of the ticket count, 63% of the handle is going to the under. 27% of ticket count, 37% of the handle to the over. When you look at the sides, 46% of tickets is equaling 56% of the handle on the Miami Heat laying the 3.5. 54% of ticket count, 44% of the handle is taking the Hawks plus the 3.5. Now the Hawks went to Philly, got a win last night, 117-107. In that one, if you're looking at the Heat, they had the night off last night. When you look at the injury report for tonight, now for the Heat, Keyshawn Johnson, he's questionable. Powell is the big one here. This back kind of been back and forth. Want to see how that plays out. I'm almost thinking he's not going to play, but I don't want to speak for that. And then obviously Tyler Hero, a game time decision as well with the ribs. He got upgraded this morning to probable, so that's very good for the Heat. And then Kuminga out for the Hawks here in this one. When you dive into some stats for this game, Miami is 4-2 against the spread their last 6 games, and the Heat have had a lot of success versus the Hawks. They've beat them 4 out of the last 5, and they've covered 4 out of the last 5. Now the Hawks just 2-5 against the spread their last 7 home games, and 1-4 against the spread their last 5 overall. Even worse, the Hawks have not fared well when they're at home against the Miami Heat. They're just 3-6 against the spread. Now, listen, I'm not a big fan of the 3.5. Miami's minus 155 on the money line. I would probably do a little Miami parlay here. The Miami Heat money line in the NBA with the Miami of Ohio Redhawks money line. That gets you plus 102 there for the money line parlay between these two teams. That might be something you look at and say, hey, that's an easier way to monetize it. Next game I want to get into the New Orleans Pelicans at the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, your injury report for this game, Giannis out, Turner out, Prince out. And then for the Pelicans, Murphy is a game-time decision, and Missy is out, not to be confused with Missy Elliott, because he can't stand the rain. Y'all see what I did there? Anyway, Pelicans laying 3.5 at home, 223.5 is the total. 33% of the ticket count, 71% of the handle going to the under, 67% of ticket count, 29% of the handle going to the over, 223.5. Now, when you look at the sides, 66% of tickets is equal in 37% of the handle is taking the Bucks plus the 3.5. 34% of ticket count, 63% of the handle is laying it with the New Orleans Pelicans in this one. Now, the Bucks 5-1, both straight up in ATS over their last 6. Very surprising. And they've really handled the Pelicans. They've beat them 7 out of 8, and they've covered 6 of those 8. Now, the Pelicans 2-4 straight up their last 6, 2-4 against the spread in that same time frame. Now, the Pelicans have played to the under 8 of their last 12, but when these two teams have locked horns, it's went to the over 16 of the last 19. So 16-3 to the over when these two teams play. Again, that total right now sitting at 223.5. If that over interests you, kind of sneakingly interests me a little bit here. I don't know about you guys. Now, they've only played once this year. Bucks won that game 141-137. It was back earlier this month, February 4th. Had to get to overtime to do it. But look, I would lean over to this, and I would lean Bucks. There's some 4s out there, like BetMGM has a 4. I think Bucks plus the points would be a lean. I have a stronger lean, though, to the over. I like the over way more than I do the Milwaukee Bucks. I will say that, but I have nothing in pocket, so I just want to be completely transparent about that as well. Denver Nuggets here on the road at the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, the Nuggets fell last night against the Clippers. Now the Nuggets are laying 1.5, 240.5 is the total for this game. Now, as far as the total, 33% of the tickets, 34% of the handle going to the over, 67% of tickets, 66% of the handle to the under 240.5. When you look at the side, 73% of tickets equaling 75% of the handle is laying the 1.5 with the Denver Nuggets. 27% ticket count, 25% of the handle says they'll take that 1.5 with the Blazers. Now, Denver was on such a roll, and it's odd. Jokic comes back and they struggle. Not sure really what's going on here. The Nuggets 2-5 straight up their last 7. They've covered only one time in their last 5 games. Against Portland, the Blazers have actually covered 6 of the last 9 against Denver. So Denver 3-6 ATS the last 9 versus the Blazers. The Blazers, though, 3-6 ATS their last 9 overall, but they're 4-1 over their last 5 games. Now, Watson and Gordon still out tonight for the Blazers. Murray and Thaba are questionable. Sharp is out. And then Damian Lillard, your three-point champion, still not going to play. But, hey, he can shoot threes and all that. The most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Nevertheless, when you dive into the handicap here, they played once. It was back on Halloween in Portland. The Blazers beat them 109-107. Now, the Nuggets have beaten them 7 of the last 10, but the last 2 matchups have actually went to the Portland Trail Blazers. Nevertheless, I like the cheap price. I'm a sucker here. I like the Denver Nuggets laying $1.20 on the money line. Listen, I just can't subscribe to this thing that the Nuggets are just going to keep losing. So I want to be on them when they turn this thing around, and I think it gets turned around tonight for sure. Last game I want to touch on again. Click that like, hit subscribe. Go to breaktheboardsports.com. Clippers at the Lakers. Now, Clippers with that big win last night. They're on the back-to-back, so you know what that means. That's like doomsday for Kawhi Leonard. He's like Bill Murray in Space Jam. You know, Michael Jordan says, Bill, we're on defense. Woo, I don't do defense. It's kind of like Kawhi Leonard when it comes to back-to-backs. He doesn't do those. But as of right now, he's in the lineup. Garland's still not going to make his appearance. The Lakers are at full strength and a full go. Lakers here laying 7.5. There's a couple 6.5s out there. So it's very weird. 52% of tickets, 90% of the handles on the Lakers, 48% of ticket count, 10% of the handle on the Clippers. So books are going to need the Clippers. That line is also telling me I think we're going to hear Kawhi Leonard not suiting up tonight, but just my opinion. 225.5 is the total here. 69% of ticket count, 81% of the handle going over. 31% of ticket count, 19% of the handle going to the under in this one. Again, I'm a big Miami of Ohio guy tonight, and who wouldn't be? But I think, again, it's not the most sexiest thing, but the first thing I think of is the Miami of Ohio Redhawks money line, Thunder money line, Lakers money line, minus 137. I know that's kind of crazy, but listen, you're just looking for wins right now. Clippers, though, are 4-1 both straight up in ATS in their last 5 games. The Lakers, 4-2 both straight up in ATS in their last 6. And the Lakers have covered against the Clippers 4 of the last 6 meetings. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have went under the total as well. Now, when you look into previous matchups, they've played 3 times this year. Clippers have beat them 2 out of 3, including the last 2 at home there for the Clippers. Now, neither of the last 2 games have been able to get, well, the last one did, neither of the last 2 games have gotten over that 225 total, 225.5. The very first one did back November 25th. That one was at the Lakers, 135-118. I would expect you to see some kind of overaction here. I would also look at Lakers team total over, but I think Lakers here at full strength money line parlay, definitely a way to go. RJ Cash Cole, Break the Board Sports. Click that like, hit subscribe, giving you stats, trends, and information to help you with your handicap. Whether you fade or follow, hope you guys win your bets. God bless and happy handicapping.